Yes, welcome back to Footy and Friends. Oh my goodness gracious, it's that grand final review time. This episode of Footy and Friends is brought to you by our friends at BWS.
October.
Gee whiz, I went to BWS on the weekend, Brettles.
Did ya?
I bloody did.
You fill up?
I got my drinks for game day sorted at BWS.
Did you drink the hard stuff?
And
or
I
the soft
enjoyed the
stuff?
footy with BWS. I drank responsibly is what I did.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, son?
Good. Well, I was very quiet on the weekend. I was a bit knackered after your big breakfast, or the Clubby Sports big brekkie, and then had the ABC call on the radio. I was on from 1 till 7, so I was cooked, went home, a little glass of bread, and went to bed.
How'd Murph go on the call?
Murph wasn't on.
Shit.
I was with Mickey Moldhouse and Cameron Ling.
So did Murph...
Murph was just in first emergency. Yeah, he was next cab off the rank.
Murph was full in the celebrations.
Because he keeps cutting off our man Brett.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Murph was front and centre at the Brownlow.
Oh, it was
Cripper with
Cripper.
Bainey and Cripper, the boys.
Bainey was front and centre as well.
They did. Bit of inserting there.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
there
Would you
was.
say there?
That's how I would describe it.
Be very careful. Hey, today we're going to an absolute grand final treat. One of the best in the business. Someone that we love dearly. Robin Nahas is back in the studio, boys. How are we, Robbie?
Yeah,
Robin's
very well.
He was messaging. He was firing us up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was giving his feedback
Just wanted
this
to let us
morning, and I
know.
thought, you know what? Come on the pod and talk about it,
Yeah.
Robbie. So
It's not a credit, really.
you
From Brett, though.
Yeah,
not from
of
anyone
course.
else, just from Brett.
from
Just
Brett.
a nod. But, yeah, it was a
knows
good
his
win.
footy. Oh yeah, you know your footy.
I got it right. Nah, I thought Brisbane, we all knew Brisbane pretty much had the
Yeah,
strongest list.
yeah, we know.
Except for you.
the
The list was there. The list was there, and they came to play when it mattered, really.
I'm looking forward to talking about Brisbane next year. Like some of the
back
guys
to
that are
back,
going to come
surely.
in and they can't lose it. Can they? I still think they'll slide.
Yeah. No, we'll see. Oh, I don't want to make that call yet. I need to wait and see how they come back after their footy trip this year. See what happens. See what happens on that.
Well, you have to go again then.
Well, they have to go back to Vegas, don't they? It was funny, but not really. Had a bit of so after the grand final breakfast, we'll get that in a second. But had a bit of a big night, had a few beers. But my beautiful wife messaged me that night. She said, "I need you to come home. I'm not feeling well. I need you to have Max all day tomorrow." And I was like, you know, when you're sort of thinking in your own head, "Oh, I'm getting to sleep in tomorrow. This is my day off."
Yeah.
So I pulled up Psalms, gone home, woken up with
What
him.
time are we talking?
Oh, it wasn't too late. It was about 9:30.
Yeah.
But when you start at 10
Did you have a few
a.m.
hard salsas?
When you start at 10 a.m. on the the wild,
What are those claw
the high
things?
tides,
Wild turkeys?
the high tides salsas, you get pretty busy. So I got home, woke up the next morning. My young boy, he loves his bike, a bit like Brett. Not a mountain bike, but it's a bike.
Got a story about those.
I've got a story about those. And I took him to the skate park at Fitzroy, where I used to sort of do a bit of damage. And long story short, this is a very long-winded story, but I see all these people walking through Edinburgh Gardens, and they got all their Brisbane stuff on. It's fucking early.
Well, that's where the Christmas party was supposed to be.
Last year,
That
then
you
we
sent me
forgot.
to.
That's where we forgot to tell Brett. He rocked up. It got moved. Anyway, the whole Brisbane fraternity was rocking up to Brunswick Street Oval because
Fitzroy were back.
Fitzroy were back. They were unveiling the cup in front of the fans. So anyway, I've strolled over, hood over. I was a bit like, you know, I wrote them off at the start of the year. Then I'm there celebrating with them. But unbelievable day.
Yeah.
Very nostalgic place, Peterson
Well,
Oval.
did you walk in there thinking these blokes are going to want my head on the platter here because they've heard
No,
what I've
mate,
said?
they
You're
were
like,
the
I'm a big deal here.
They were
This
the
is-
Fitzroy sort of supporters. They didn't even know what was
You
what
did.
was
Why
going
would you
on.
put your hood on then?
It was raining.
It was cold.
It was raining. It was
He's been
raining.
drinking since
And I was a
10.
little bit worried that I was going to cop. I was a bit worried that I was going to cop a bit of shit. But
'Cause we spoke to Lockie Neal after the grand final, and he said, "Mate, we got a few blokes. They wrote us off. We've kept receipts."
yeah,
So,
He kept them, did he?
I don't know. I haven't spoke to him, but he won't answer my calls. But I went down there. I just want to say this: it was unbelievable. To see those guys down there, all the fans down there. But when I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was getting, you know, nearly emotional watching these guys that are beautiful family and friends there, and it was everything. I thought to myself, I'm still the only bloke to kick 15 on this oval.
That's what you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many would have been down there?
That was in under 13s,
Yeah.
I think. But in general, I think I was the only bloke at that oval that's definitely kicked 14 at that ground.
yeah.
Yeah, spending
That's
too much
great.
time
So I
with
felt better after everything I've been through this
He
year.
thinks that I'm rubbing off on you by
Brett.
telling
I
that
just
story.
said, I
mate.
whispered in his ear, I said, wait, he's been spending way too much time together.
Oh,
How,
goodness.
I saw some like little clips of their celebration on Sunday. And there was
Yeah.
Jared Berry was still in his suit.
Good on
from
Jared Berry.
from the night before.
He deserves it.
Put the jumper on over the top and still had the RM Williams boots on.
You can't beat Dusty though. He left his car there for 3 months.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's as good as you get.
The boys there, like I'm a big fan of leaving the jumper on. I like that, and the boots and stuff's funny. But wouldn't you just smell like shit? You feel like shit after. You'd like to have a bit of a shower, wouldn't
Was
you?
it Scotty Lysette was still in the full playing kit like 2 or 3 days
that's fucked.
rolling around.
That's nuts.
Oh, no, exactly right. You would stink.
Yeah, it's not even enjoyable. After day 2, you're just like, oh mate, that's not funny now. You actually smell like shit.
It's like the year 9 locker rooms where you go in and just spray a bit of the Lynx Africa on after being out kicking the footy at lunch.
What do we think of the... Hey, before we actually get into the game, big thank you to the Footy Friends community that rocked up to the Clubby Sports Grand Final breakfast at Sofitel. Pretty amazing day.
Yeah.
Did you have fun, Brett?
I did actually.
It was a good day.
You did really well. You did really well.
I did absolutely nothing. Like the
I
team did really well.
I don't think we should talk about roaming Brian.
He was loose.
Let's move on. No, Brian was there.
Came in like a hurricane.
He came in hot. I think he caught a few people off guard.
Tassie Devil, wasn't he? Just path of destruction.
Yeah, but I think
talking about things we probably don't usually.
No, we don't say that. He was fantastic.
No, he kind of...
You got the crowd going, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. He whirled in, whirled out, and he got it started, didn't he?
He did. We had an awesome day. So a big thanks to everyone who rocked up, and we'll chat about it more in the minis this week. So if you want to hear about that, we'll do a full recap of the day. But Matt got on stage.
Mixed mailbag. You've probably had a fair bit of feedback on mixed mailbag. It's gone by the wayside, a bit like the lottery tickets.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot coming through, but it's just stories about Brett being third in line and asking to swap, but like they're the same stories every week. So we need to get some more creativity.
They put Brett on table 9. He nearly wasn't going to come in.
I wasn't happy. Matt came up, did a good job. But let's
Can I ask a question? Where was my invite?
I was just thinking as I'm like, I'm just thinking, can we fucking move on?
I've ever heard.
Can we just move on?
You guys,
because
cheers, boys.
that was an oversight. It was a massive oversight.
Anyone who's had
Should
any
I just
attachment,
leave? Like-
anyone who's had any attachment was there.
Yeah.
I was saying, like,
There's some
prime
hangers on.
train was kind of there.
Who's prime trade?
Who's prime?
As we're going, I'm going, let's just move on because I've really fucked up here and Nahas.
We could have got you a discounted ticket, mate. That was as good as we could have done.
No discounts.
Next time.
Hey, you'll be there next year, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, great. Good feedback on the...
Nah, great feedback on the day. Everyone was saying they would have loved to have seen Robbie there, but he
Just move on, mate. Wrap it up.
There was 550 people, mate.
Beautiful.
Some of the, some
was at
games
Botanical.
some games at bloody North didn't get that many when you were there, so it was a big crowd.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I had your prelim final like rumbles in the guts before going up. I was a bit nervous. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I just wasn't sure how we're going to be funny because the 200 pluses probably let us down a little bit.
They were shit. They were shit. Like, not funny at all.
Yeah.
Well, what was going on?
Oh, they were telling stories like, and Rob, you don't even need to like know what stories they were because they were telling stories that they assumed people had listened to like 4 years ago and just like telling them. It's like, mate, storytelling, you got to sort of set up the story so people understand it. And they
I noticed that the MC, Nick Butler, didn't close out the event that you did.
Yeah, I did.
Did he just leave?
Yeah, he just left. No, it was a great event. It was a great event. I digress. We'll talk about that on the minis this week, so make sure you check that one out. Grand final day, boys.
Yeah.
Bit of a fizzler, wasn't it? But
yeah. What did you make of Katy Perry? Did you watch her event?
I heard her as I was walking over. I didn't get there in time.
Yeah.
But I watched it back on YouTube.
Well, I think you
Fucking
got
awesome.
you got a better spectacle than what we would have because you're so far away and the sound wasn't great. But everyone who said they watched it on TV loved it.
Right.
Said it was amazing. I mean, Katy Perry's not my genre, but I had messages from Katy saying the girls are glued to the TV.
From Perry.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wrong Katy. Yeah. The Miller, Charlotte, and Sienna, my 3 little daughters, were just glued to it. Loved it. But yeah, if it was me, I'm probably not. That wasn't my favourite. Robbie Williams was good a couple of years ago. Kiss not so much.
I think she's pretty good for what we've had recently.
No, the production, the overall production, amazing. You know, in terms of how they presented all the dances and all that sort of stuff, awesome. But
so the video, go on the AFL's YouTube channel. When I watched it, it just got put up on YouTube. I'm a big YouTube guy. It had like 40,000 views. It's now had just under 1 million in a day.
Yeah,
pretty good. So you can go watch it. It's got like heap of stuff on it. But I thought she was good.
I was thinking about you this morning about the gym stuff.
Oh,
remember when you used to squat? And you went through the squatting phase.
You just did leg stuff.
I had a bad day.
And then salt. You didn't go on a
I went there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Move on.
You don't really commit, do you?
No. What happened to the game, boys? What happened in the game? It was a good start. It was a very good start.
Yeah.
Swans kicked the first 2.
Yeah, I thought Brisbane 2 easy misses to start.
Yeah.
I know they did kick the first 2, but I thought Brisbane started heaps better, even though they didn't score straight away. But, Sydney just don't come to play. Like, they're big game players, and I don't want to say this because he's a superstar, but that's 2 in a row for Heaney, grand final day.
Yep.
It's hard to comment on these things because it gets awkward, and then you
and
fear
yeah,
you're
but-
like, if I had a big game
Oh,
again,
no,
what would I do? But
And
it's
I'm-
like,
yeah.
no, it's hard. Like, you look at, none of those boys would have been happy with their performance. And after the first one against the Cats in 22, you think, okay, wipe it, bad day. You want to go into the next one and change, but fuck, the exact same thing happened again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think what I said on our preview last week, in that their best players need to play really well for these guys to get the job done. It's not a system based. So, team of champions versus a champion team. I think ultimately that was proof in the pudding at the end of the day, with how the Lions got the job done. Yes, they had Lachie Neale and Will Ashcroft, who played incredibly well, but then it was the role players, Lohman and Archie, who just
Archie, how good was he?
and then Starcevich down back, and Answorth, Leicester. You know,
Mate, how good's Leicester?
They're
He
just-
might sign a 3-year deal after that game.
he's just signed to 1 year, so I don't reckon. But
Might get 2-year extension next week.
Would you say it's the best grand final win by any team? Not the actual day,
The
but
most sound win.
no, throughout
the
comeback.
year?
Yeah, like the greatest comeback.
where
From
they
zip
are.
three,
Greatest comeback.
3-5-1. Buckley put him on a plate at the start.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ninth.
But even you think about
when they're in
4
going into the
ACLs.
finals.
Down by 44 points in one of the finals.
It goes down for me.
4 ACLs.
Yeah, the greatest grand final win.
Think
by a
about
team
the
in
off-field
season.
sagas though as well. You had the footy trip saga, which again, it's not big,
happened
but it
there?
is big.
The
I
Vegas
actually don't
stuff.
even know what happened.
No
Wasn't
one,
it?
no one actually does.
Someone
that.
left their
Someone left
iMessages back.
yeah, something happened with the iMessages,
cloud.
which
Yeah.
no one knows how to work the cloud. Let's be honest, I still don't get the cloud. I don't know where my stuff is,
Yeah.
but it's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then there was obviously the really serious, which I think is actually still going, but the Hawthorn racism stuff
yeah.
with Fagan that was last year, but still getting investigated this year. So that's a massive year to keep it together.
Yeah, well, I think it speaks volumes to Chris Fagan and what he is, but then Danny Daly, who's there as the GM of footy.
Swanee,
Danny.
Greg Swan.
Danny.
Yeah, Greg Swan as well. And then you've got your leadership group and your boys all coming together. But yeah, I think ultimately they've all bought in and pulled through it together versus just being like, we're going to hang this bloke out to dry and he's going to be the scapegoat and we're going to try and move on. You know, that's
You look at their whole final series though. Like they played 2 quarters against Carlton, the first 2. Then they played the second half against GWS. They probably played the second half against Geelong, and then they've come out and played 4 quarters. Like,
And they
that's
got
a pretty strong footy team.
They got out of all of their players, like their role players, they got 10 goals out of Logan Morris, Kyle Lohman, Calamar Chi. 10 of their 18 goals on grand final day, you get kicked by those guys.
yeah.
So,
role player.
whereas we're talking about Sydney relying too heavily on the
Well, their 3 tools
top
were all
end.
What do you say, boys? Because I know I've joked about what Horse needs to grab the 3 big boys in a room and ask them about,
and have a
chat and say, look, why do you think they call me Horse?
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that today. I actually was trying to do some research because I don't watch. Not that I love the show, but I go on social media. So
That's why you got the club
his fucking
I don't
breakfast, mate.
spend that
He
much
didn't even
time
see
on
that it was
social
up.
media, so I thought I'll go back and just see what these guys have been talking about.
And you're impressed?
And you come across
It was riveting stuff. No, it was
So I was
fantastic.
like, I've got to get back on. I need more of this horse action.
No, it was great. But then you're asking the question about horse.
get horse on. Yeah, we'll show horse.
And that's
here
why
he
I
is,
called.
yeah.
No, but you said it because he wanted to be a jockey, and that was my reason.
For what?
Your nickname's not horse.
Should be. Anyway, back to the main point. McDonald, Amati, and McLean.
McLean was okay second ruck, but McDonald was on one leg. Should never have been picked, and we're hearing reports that
What did he look like? Was it like from the ground?
he couldn't move, mate.
Couldn't he?
Yeah. And then they went with Parker on Harris Andrews.
That should
It
never.
was
that
never. It was
silly.
never. I don't think that was going to work. Like Parker's a great competitor.
30 centimetres.
Yeah.
Like,
But if you can't run and you're Logan McDonald, go and stand next to this big bloke and just stop him like Frampton did the year before.
Yeah.
You know, had 0 touches, but stops Harris Andrews having an impact.
McDonald had 1.
Yeah, and he subbed out just after half time. He actually, I think he might have come on for a minute, if at all. Braden Campbell come on after that, but he couldn't move. Amati was, but all at sea. But unfortunately, like their inside 50s went shallow, and Brisbane's had a field day.
So in the first quarter, like a lot of their felt like they were out a lot of the time, and they missed a fair bit.
Yeah,
Going to 50. Sydney.
Sydney. They just missed missed easy
Yeah.
layups, which Starcevic and Leicester, who just signed a 2-year extension on top of the one, was it?
That's about to be dropped.
Okay.
Don't say
On
that.
Trade Radio?
Yeah, don't say anything. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you feel like for what opportunities Sydney had in the first quarter, that because the game.
Fucking hell! Fuck me.
Mac, you don't feel so bad now, do you, brother?
Yeah.
Checking his.
For what the chances Sydney had, and as soon as a lead starts to pop out just check everyone's vibrate on. As soon as a lead starts to pop out in the grand final, it just looks like it unravelled for them, didn't it? It's not like a normal game where you can chip back and get something out of the game. It's, you're going to go down by 70 or 80 off the back of missed opportunities.
Which I was hopeful that Sydney might have been able to chip back because of the superstars that we're talking about. But Heaney hurt his ankle early, so he was hobbling. Warner didn't have any influence. Gordon didn't have any influence. And it was left. Jimmy Rowbottom was actually pretty good for the whole day. He tried his guts out. But then other than that, it's probably Robbie Fox, who was nearly one of their best.
Funny you say that. So Robbie Fox had 26 in 2022.
Oh, in 22, on Jez.
And he had 21 this year.
And a goal.
So how's my maths? I've been trying to work this out the last 3 minutes. I did 21 times 26 divided by 2. He's averaging 273 disposals a game in grand finals. That's pretty
too many hard salts.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I think I times instead of bloody additioned. Oopsies. Anyway, he's a good player in grand finals. He didn't even get a bloody game.
Big game player.
Kicked a goal too.
Yeah. Good Max Sports client. He is,
of course he is.
He got the 50, which was a bit.
Goal's a goal.
The goal is
against
a goal.
Dane Zorko.
Were you happy with the Norm Smith medalist? Was that fair? I didn't watch it. It's hard for me to see through.
It's a good question.
Where I was watching it.
How were you watching it?
I'll just finish what I was saying quickly before we move on.
Hey, it is your show.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Just because it was on
Leicester
topic, so
1+2?
I thought, you know what? I'll answer that question instead of answering it with another one. I actually thought.
What are you talking about?
From the game, from like where I was sitting, I thought Lachie Neale was unbelievable.
Yep.
There was this one ground ball he had, half-back flank of the Swans, half-back flank. He's picked it up off his boots, turned back inside, handballed to Ashcroft himself, got it back, bang, bang, and it was one where they kicked the ball over to Archie and runs into the goal. It was like, holy shit, that's a difference. There was one other thing that I saw on game day. I don't think you can quite see on TV how good it was, but it was in the first quarter when it was tight and it was really open, and it just showed the dare of the Lions. McCluggage had it at half back
in the middle.
Did you see this?
Yeah, Loman kicks a goal. Is that first goal of the game?
Yes, it was. Leicester's running like a QB, like linebacker, and he just pops it.
Hang on, he's running.
Sorry. Sorry.
Like a wide receiver?
Sorry. No, I meant.
Like a
wide receiver.
left midfielder at Aston Villa.
I was making such a good point.
No, it was great. You ruined yourself. But don't worry about these two. Just keep going. Don't worry about them.
McCluggage was like a quarterback, and that was like a wide receiver.
Yeah. It was a great kick.
Shit game anyway.
And the linebacker missed.
Anyway, linebacker fell over, and they won 200, and they kicked the goal. Yep. So it was a very, very good. It was a very good goal, wasn't it? And
the kick was unreal.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're right. The dare to set up, it showed their intent.
He was best on ground at quarter time, McCluggage.
Yeah,
then
Jordan went to him.
Yeah.
If Daniher had kicked straight, I had him in my multi.
2 got 4.
2-4.
One of the non.
The other bloke who I think deserves his flowers is Joshy Dunkley. I thought he did a great job on Heaney, and but then 12 tackles, just gets the job done.
Yeah.
Won some crucial balls. There's one 1v3, like centre half back, puts his head in the hole. Yeah, mate, I think he's a great player. And the funny thing is, out of it all...
No! I was going to go with this.
Go on,
I've been going with this. No one's had it besides you. Maybe I even told you this on the weekend.
Go.
Click this, Darcy. No one's gone with this yet. Dunkley, father-son to the Swans.
Oh, well, thanks for the scoop.
They don't take him. He goes to Bulldogs. Bulldogs, in 2016, shut up, beat the Swans. Dunkley then goes to Brisbane, beats the Swans.
And when Darcy clips it, he should map it. Like you're trying to map it.
That's good.
So
that's really good.
A team, he wanted to go to the Swans. They didn't want to take him. He's been 2 grand finals against them.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It's 4 in a row for Sydney to lose.
I love that you had to race me. But yeah, anyway, we spoke about it on Saturday. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's his show.
It's my show.
Yeah, mate, you're a newsbreaker.
What else happened that we liked,
about,
gents?
There was a big moment early when Blakey went down, and he probably did get taken high. Yeah. The little moments like that, right?
With Archie.
Because he stopped.
I don't think Sydney could move on to the next moment quick enough. Like they would dwell on. It's easy from afar. But
he wanted the free kick. You just got to play it.
He's got to play it out.
Yeah,
he's got to play the whistle. Whistle didn't go.
Yeah.
And all those things just
he tried to get a free kick. Yeah.
And Brisbane's pressure on the ball was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like any handball or spill ball that Sydney actually did get, the Brisbane kind of buy into pressuring the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Just you couldn't see a passage of play for Sydney the whole day where they actually could get their flow going.
Well, that's why I spoke about this on radio with Cam Rayner. Like, wasn't having his best day offensively, but he nailed some huge tackles early that set the tone almost to say, well, you know what, I'm going to buy in here. He nailed Chad Warner in one, got another bloke where they just they didn't break any of them. They just absolutely taken the ground tackles where they could have easily been broken out the other way, and that's how Sydney get their game up and going. So, yeah, they had a full buy-in, and that's why they ultimately, right across the board, they didn't I don't think one bloke would have lost his position other than the sub who came on for 10 minutes.
And then after pretty much halfway through the second, no one watched the game anymore. We're just watching our same game multis pretty much for the rest of the game.
Trying to get them up.
Pretty much it.
A refreshingly BWS stat we've actually got from this game too. Will Ashcroft is now the youngest player, 20 years old, to win a Norm Smith medal in the AFL era, breaking the record previously held by who?
Wayne Harms.
At just 21 years of age.
Your dad's mate.
No.
Can you go to the stat again?
In the AFL era.
He's the youngest.
Andrew McLeod.
Any other guesses?
Andrew McLeod. That's correct.
He's right. He's right.
Stats man.
I was just trying to see if we could get
I
him.
heard that the other day.
Pretty impressive, would you say?
Well, Wayne Harms is the youngest, but that was VFL.
He does seem
How
like the type of
old was
guy.
he?
He was
19 or 20.
19, I think. Yeah.
He does seem like the type of guy, Will Ashcroft, that would have done his knee, and then he would have mapped out.
How many days till I win a Norm Smith?
Yeah, like
literally.
This is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this. The team's going to go well, and we're going to play in the Premier. We're going to redeem ourselves from the grand final last year, which I didn't play in, by the way. I'm Will at the moment, speaking in third person, and I'm going to be the difference maker and win the.
But he actually was. If you look at last year when he went out of the side, how much Brisbane dropped off. Yeah, they still made the grand final, but then when he come back in this year, and they're upturn. It's probably a little bit in that, to be honest.
He complements their midfield really well.
Their upturn when he came back and their downturn when he was out last year.
And you know
Not as good as the Dunkley stat, but it is pretty good.
But good try.
No, but it's pretty good.
You know what they say about the younger brother? Always the younger brother's the better brother.
Really?
Well, that's what.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a moment because I've got
not in your family.
Oh, maybe better bloke. But that's not hard.
That's easy.
Yeah,
better in the gym.
Trains harder in the gym.
No, he definitely.
And DB.
I couldn't make it. Very good, very good. Daniher retiring. We heard that. We don't know if that's actually true.
What would he do after footy? I don't know. What does he do?
He's
in the doesn't he? He doesn't even train, does he? Does he come down once a week or something like that?
But he's not playing Eastern Footy League Division.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does. I'm hearing he comes down once a week.
Go back play for the bar and
he comes down once a week.
He texts Fags and says, "Mate,
not
feeling it today. Not getting out of that."
No, I'm telling you now. I'm hearing stories. He trains once a week. He's out in the bush. He doesn't do he runs his own race.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Just send me a selfie with you on the treadmill, please, Joe.
Yeah, he's a mysterious man. I know Joe quite well, but he's a very private person. And it was funny. They Brisbane put up a little clip on Instagram. They're like, "Tell us something about Joe," and they're going around. Everyone's like, "Yeah, don't really know anything to say." I didn't know what to say. Yeah. Besides the fact that he doesn't have a TV, but he loves watching movies on his iPad. But he's a very quiet guy. He's got 2 kids. He's got 2 kids.
Did that? That's what I said.
He's got a beautiful wife. I actually set him and his partner up. I swear on my life. You can take that to him and ask. It'd be hard to get him. I don't think they even have a phone in their house. Take that to Vagues. Let him know.
So send it in the mail and see whether he
I set him and his wife up.
Yeah.
How?
Well, okay, long story. But actually at Peterson's, where we're going to have the picnic that we cancelled that Brett went to and I forgot to tell him that it was off, my good mate was dating a girl. Her sister got a French bulldog and I had a French bulldog. So we went to the park and we were sort of mutual French bulldog, sort of just playing. And anyway, Joe had told me a week earlier that he really liked this girl. And I was like, Joe's keen to catch up. And she's a very beautiful girl, so I didn't think there was much chance in it happening. And then what do you know? They're already married, 2 kids later down the track. But they used that as a bit to go. Joe was a year below me.
Yeah.
And we just trained together and
you just took him under your wing.
You know how
the father-son thing.
You know
So,
when
mate, I'll
Brett-
show you how to do it. And it's-
You know when Brett had a family and Boris got shuffled to the side?
Yeah,
Do
it
they
was-
still have the bulldog?
they do.
It's a story
Yeah.
of resilience.
Yeah, that's
for
the
them.
difference between 2 kids and
Yeah,
3.
once they have one more.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go on. Did you see this, by the way? The Western Bulldogs are asking him to change the name because it's a bulldog. So they actually might go the Western Borises. They might have to soon. It's amazing.
Yeah. Poor old. Yeah,
Life,
Boris.
eh?
Boris is going okay.
Hey, did Boris do on Grand Final Day?
You can't see.
Yeah,
He
he's
didn't
blind.
know what was going on.
Deaf.
He absolutely
Poor
had, he had no
Yeah.
idea. Before we get into anything else in the Grand Final day we want to talk about?
The sprint? How was that? Anything good?
Yeah, I picked the winner. I thought Bo McCreary would win it, and did. Darcy Wilson.
Jeez, old close.
He broke on the off the line, and then as he's going across, puts his hands out through it to try and win. But as we all know, it's your chest that.
You reckon he would have earned enough money this year? He was pretty desperate to get that.
Brett,
sort of-
yeah, and he gave it the little like the little fist pump and like, yes, I've got almost a claim, and I was like,
second.
Did you celebrate when you won?
you would have
celebrated.
probably. Yeah,
Just
no, I don't
expected.
know.
Previous celebrate when you know, Postman doesn't celebrate when he delivers the mail.
No,
does he? It's
well,
his
that's
job.
it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it, like you.
It's my only time I celebrated on Grand Final day, but yeah, that was good.
Oh, Brett.
It's okay.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I think that's it for my Grand Final day. I had a good day. It's the people you run into, right? So Alex Johnson down there, big AJ. He
Did you all
goes.
go to the
He
game?
had a few beers.
I
He
was on
said
radio, yeah.
ever since 2012, that no AJ, no Swans. He
No,
reckons,
that's
which
fair.
is fair.
Yeah, 0-4 since, aren't they? Haven't got much else for you in the game.
Okay.
Luke Park kicked 3 in the last quarter.
Going to
Why do you
North.
say that? Why do you say that?
Why do you say that?
Oh, I love Luke Parker now. Why do you love Luke Parker now?
I think he just showed some resilience to see the game out.
Yeah, would you say he showed some shin boner resilience? Did he give you a shin boner while you watched him?
A bit like Robin said, I'd kind of tuned out by the last quarter. I just caught up on the mini.
Fair call.
Where were you, by the way? Where did you watch the game?
I was
Which pub?
at a pub, the Wolf, on Chapel Street.
Oh, yeah. Wolf and
with,
I.
with Zach Dawson,
Yeah,
Oh,
who's lost. He's 0-4 in grand finals. So
Yeah. Big Z.
commiserating.
tell me this on a serious note. Reviewing the coaches post game, I think we can all imagine what Fags was saying. He was pretty happy. You're John Longmire after that loss. Yeah. You put your coach's hat on for a moment. I know you never take it off because it's a job.
Yeah.
It's a role
Yeah.
where you can't switch off.
24/7,
really, isn't it?
365.
Yeah, and hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it? But I think he handled himself well in the aftermath.
That
They were coming-
was fucking heartbreaking.
What did you see
Yes, I
his
did.
interview?
That was
and the
heartbreaking.
song was
The door got opened and they're all singing the song,
Yeah.
and then it pauses on him and he's waiting and he's trying to be respectful,
Yeah.
which he's a very respectful man.
He handled it well.
He did.
Brett, would you imagine Brett in that
Oh,
situation?
actually-
Brett would Brett. Oh
Brett
my
would've-
god.
He would have
I
thrown
was actually thinking about that in the car on the way here. How would,
everything.
how would I have handled this? It was on the radio.
Nah,
How would I have handled this? I was
well.
filthy that Toot got taken up before us
Yeah.
at the breakfast. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
What's
No,
Toot
I
doing
know.
going up? Because he plays currently, does he?
Yeah.
Rob, it was funny. We actually
I was at the breakfast, was it?
we had the,
Okay,
this is the week before
So you just
on the
explain
pod.
what happened.
At the break, so we all went there, everyone.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Just remind
the
me.
week before, I sort of said to everyone, like, hey, look, if you're thinking of coming up and having a chat on the weekend, make sure you do. And I was like, look, though, if you love Brett, respect him from afar. Because you're not going to like it if you come up to him too hot, because he's not going to give you much. So I sort of said, if you love Brett, just let him be. Let him be free in the wild and love him. 'Cause you're going to be disappointed if you meet him.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to spray you.
They took it to the nth degree. I didn't have one person. Well, I sat there like a stale bottle for most of the morning.
I came back to table 9 after one of the intermissions,
Yeah.
and everyone had been out mingling, and Brett was just sitting there like the old Pablo Escobar on the bench chair with no one around him, just
No.
pondering, minding his own business.
He's a scary figure.
I'm actually not.
But when
not
they
at
did,
all.
when they did say, "Oh, we're just going to adjust the run sheet here and bring up Took Miller before Footy and Friends," Brett dead set daggers.
Yeah, no, he wasn't
going on
happy. He wasn't happy. The reason was, Robbie, just to fill you in before we move on,
Thanks.
is we, thanks to our friends at Lululemon, we gave away 3 grand final tickets to someone in the crowd.
It's
Went to the
massive.
grand final.
So
It's huge.
where does that fit in terms of getting him in before?
Well, we'll move on.
Do you want me to answer the coaching
please
question?
do. Please,
because you
actually
asked
answer.
it.
No, I did. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Go for it.
I think there were just too many spot fires for Sydney to try and react to. So the Zorko, the aim early was to probably nullify Zorko.
James Jordan started on him.
at half back, and then the mids got off the chain and they couldn't get any access to the ball around contest, so they had adjust him, throw him to McCluggage. And Neil was going bananas. Ashcroft was there was just too many contributors for them to be able to react to. So, again, hindsight's a great thing, but would have you put a negator around the ball to start and try and expose Zorko? Because sides had done that okay, exposing Zorko through the finals with a half forward that could score and get some results. So maybe that one. I thought the ruck battle was pretty interesting. Darcy Fort came in and did an admirable job, didn't he? He just came in and kind of competed. And it just does show that the rucks, they go in and compete. And
you just got to compete. Like, you can find a ruckman anywhere. Like, there's good ones gone. Like, did the rest just compete?
Yeah. And honestly, just fucking elbow someone.
Like,
elbow some midfielders. That's all you need to do is get the blokes that are tagging your best players, elbow them as hard as you can. Kane Corn's my man. He said this as well, and I've been saying it for a long time. No one listens, but he said it a little bit better. Kane Corns was on, I can't remember what it might have been the Sunday Footy Show. He was talking about the fact the last 10 grand finals, the highest paid player wouldn't have been in the top 10 besides Max Gawn.
As a ruckman.
As a ruckman.
No, you go back from...
They're all just role players that create contests.
So the ruckman wouldn't be in the top 10 paid players.
Yes.
But you go back 20 years. Dean Cox was probably the only superstar. Then you got Gawn. But look at Geelong, who they went with.
Wasn't it
Blake?
Yeah.
Blake. Hawthorn won it with Max Bailey.
Yeah, Renouf or Campbell.
Bailey, he got injured for one, but he did win one.
Yeah, he did.
Who was the Dogs ruckman in 16?
David Hale was in.
You can win.
Dogs didn't have
you
one.
Don't
Tom
need
Boyd.
the
They didn't have one.
The ruckman you don't need to win a grand
Tom
final.
Boyd played ruck, I reckon.
Yeah, but he's playing forward as well.
Sean Grigg was a ruckman.
Yeah, it's...
Bulldogs were the same. It was like Josh Dunkley was playing ruck for Bulldogs.
Boyd played ruck, okay.
I reckon we kill
pretty
anyone
sure
over 200 centimetres.
Sorry, what were you talking about?
I said Tom Boyd.
Did you? I didn't hear you, sorry. I wasn't listening.
Way too far. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
No, I said something silly.
Anyway, so Parker to the Roos, which is good. That's exciting, Mick.
That's exciting, Mick.
No,
Good fundamentals.
We'll adjust that, or we'll discuss that at the back end of this.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Did you see any good moves, boys, before we move on from the coaching from Fagan? Like, did you like any setup? Like, obviously, the Dunkley going to Heaney. It's pretty good.
They get all their, and this is not so much coaching, but their role players, Starcevic and Ainsworth.
Had a good game.
Starcevic to Papley.
Leicester.
Ainsworth to... Ainsworth, to Haywood.
Yep.
Who I thought who jumped out of the box early, didn't he? Tipped him to kick 5 and win the Norm Smith. Felt good early. Went to shit from there.
Can I actually you two both tipped Swans, didn't you? And I tipped Lions.
No, I took the Lions.
Okay, good.
I did the Swans by a lot. I thought the Swans were going to win easy.
Yeah. No.
But you said it to win the grand final, though, when I came in here.
You did.
Picked Sydney.
I must have, yeah. Maybe. No, I picked the Giants. I wanted the Giants to win. Yeah.
I thought
the Giants,
Dogs would have done better.
The Giants are tasting their own vomit at the moment in terms of they had them both on toast.
Oh, how? Yeah, that's... So you come back from that? That's a hard one to come back from. No, I'm not saying they don't, but that's some ammunition.
It is going to be hard. Last one before we move on to a bit off-season stuff. The refreshingly BWS stat. 2 more for you. After winning the premiership on the weekend, Chris Fagan became the AFL's oldest premiership coach and the only premiership coach who did not play at the elite level. And 7 of the past 10 grand finals have been won by 45 points plus.
Haven't been great spectacles, have they? Last year's was amazing. 2018 was really good. Other than that, we've sort of, like, 2019, we're both at that one.
Yeah.
2020 was the Teaks against the...
That was a pretty good game.
That was all right.
They came back.
That was
Geelong
great.
meant to win that one.
15 points
Up
up
the
at
Gabba.
half time.
21 was smashing. It was Melbourne over the Dogs.
Yeah, it's been...
That was a good game for the first half.
First half was tight, but then... I mean, that was still good to watch, though, because that was just pure football in that third quarter. 22 was a smashing. Last year was really good.
Sydney been shocking.
I did had a few cashies throughout the week and at the AFL Live Centre, and
which you'll be declaring through the tax man.
Yeah, of course. And I had Thursday night. I did Justin Lepich and Paul Lacuria doing 2002 grand final recall. So basically, watch the game, just talk through all the moments, which I was nerding out. Like, it was so much fun.
So you watched the whole game with that?
Nah, it's like a condensed 45-minute version.
A mini.
Your KO mini, basically. I said, can we just do the mini?
Yeah, you're well versed.
But it was the game where Scott Burns
over the post.
He Rocker's one over the post, which should have been
Scott
a goal.
Burns ran into Vossi.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Blackie kicks the goal. Then it's the one where Lacuria had held Acker pretty much all day, and then he kicks the snap to land it. Unbelievable game. Then 2012 with Hodge and Jude Bolton.
Yeah.
Swans Hawks, where Swans win
Yeah.
But it was
Malcheski goal.
yeah,
That was a great
unbelievable
goal.
game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable game.
Because Teddy Richards, Horse was talking about this because he was injured all week, could hardly walk, but then comes out and plays really well on Buddy, keeps him to nothing.
No, not in this game.
Really?
Buddy absolutely tore him.
Oh,
we
really?
love Teddy here. Teddy
I thought that
listens
was the
every
other way,
week.
because that's what he was talking about.
No, Ted had absolutely cooked his ankle. He was playing on like one leg,
But I thought he
jabbing
was
it
saying
every
that
time he went on the bench.
the last-
That must have been the other grand. Must have been another grand final.
So you've watched the mini close to the
yeah, I
line
watched the
side.
mini. No, he had
The
like
Hawks played him the next year. Or 14.
Buddy kicked 3 goals, 4.
Buddy kicked 3 goals 4. Yeah, Ted was cooked. He'd hurt his ankle.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
There was no one else to even play.
Sorry,
him.
Teddy. I've given you. His young bloke actually ran out with the Swans on the weekend. Young Bo.
Teddy was in there revving him up before the game.
Was he?
He was in the crowd doing the rev ups. Anyway, off season, we love Ted Richards. Actually, we really love Ted Richards.
Sorry, mate. I've thrown him under the bus.
Premiership player.
Sorry, Brett.
Mogwalter news today. Baker and Graham look like they're going to commit to West Coast. Pretty good picks.
Graham has he not?
Graham's a good player, but he's 26 and done how many soft tissue?
Yeah.
Baker's a good player.
Baker's a gun. I love Baker.
Yeah. They'll try for Hawthorn's pick 13 or something. What they will give up for Barras and then pass that back? I think that's how that works.
If I'm Richmond, you just go. You want to leave. Everyone that wants to leave, and we'll just take all the draft picks.
Saw Tim Taranto today playing golf, and he didn't really say anything, but just thought I'd let
You were at PK, were you?
I was out there.
You were down there having the swing. How'd you hit him?
34 points off 20, pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you get the handicap a bit lower, but
Yeah.
it's coming together. Yeah, it's coming together.
It's cute.
Is there a chance, Brett? Is
tell me.
there a chance? Because Brett doesn't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining. He'll let me know.
Yeah.
$15 million deal, Warner to West Coast. Could it happen?
Is that why he was so emotional after the game? He knew it was his last game at Sydney.
I did notice actually when he was watching the grand final, all the presentations, he was the last person there looking back. And I don't know whether that was he pre-planned that or whatever, or you were thinking, oh, maybe someone will get a photo.
He was doing a Will Ashcroft. He's mapping out the return.
Yeah. I don't know, but I did notice that. Yeah, mate, I thought it come through my mind too. I was just like,
What are they giving him? Sorry, can we go?
yeah, that's actually a really good point.
I'm going. Anyone would
So
go for that.
Dyl is list manager at West Coast. So what are you doing?
Oh, we're giving him 15 mil.
So the rest of the 43, they've got 3 mil to play with.
Yeah.
Harley, I'm sorry, mate. Well, Harley's got 2.5 of it. And you got 500 for the next 42.
We're basically saying, look, write your checkbook for Chad.
Chad, Harley, Baker. Who else?
Then they've got Jimby coming through, Elijah Hewitt, who's another young player.
Waterman.
But just to stress, they've got to share the leftovers.
Yeah, the scraps.
Yeah.
Mate, I think,
through.
the question will be asked, is what I would think. But I would say it's more of a chance next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyone else you got?
Yeah, I've got 2 more for you. Harry Perryman, Mitch Cleary reported at the grand final breakfast that it's very much looking like Collingwood.
Yeah.
Which you and I know how rattling is that for you? Because like country boy, but
that's what I was talking about. That
I just
in the
didn't think it
office
would
today.
happen.
Yeah, I was thinking that if I'm Pez and knowing him, we both do. He's a country lad, and I don't think the big club's the thing that's going to excite him. But maybe it is, or the money's just too good to go there. But I think that's what he's wrestling with at the moment. Do I just stay where I love it and I've got the harbour and I can fish and I've got great mates here, or do I then go and set myself up for the rest of my life with a big payday?
Well, watch this space. I know Collingwood don't have the netball team attached anymor, but his partner
Jamie
for
Lee.
a while has been Jamie Lee Price, who gun netballer. So she was at the Giants, is at the Giants.
Double transfer.
Well, they don't have the Collingwood team, but they're connected to. Are they still connected with the Mavericks?
I've got no idea.
Yeah, don't know.
I was in Bendigo during the week, and all the Diamonds were having a lunch together at the same cafe that I was at. I couldn't believe it. I walked in there.
So what are you
bit
saying?
starstruck.
What are you saying, Brett? Is Harry Perryman's going to play for Bendigo?
He might play for Sandhurst. Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That would make sense, being a country boy. He might go back to Bendigo.
But I'm not sure how you drew that comparison when I was talking about the netball Diamonds and his partner. He's just going to go and be a spectator, is he? No, mate. They were playing in the cup that's going on at the moment, and
Fantastic.
they ended up winning that night too. So
Fantastic. Bailey Smith it seems like Geelong. I don't know anything more about that, but it just seems that way.
I'll tell you what, we could get a little if we get a photo of you mocking up his video that he put through.
Did you see his video? I actually commented on it.
How
Robin
many times are you going
Nahas.
to get that up? I was very upset with
Nahas
it, to be honest.
2.0.
I was actually, I saw that. I got that sent to me. I'm thinking of bringing my own video out.
No, mate, I want you to. I want you to.
No, I just...
This is like, mate, you don't
the
get out of a
difference
cold
is,
pool.
No, but the difference is none of it's self-promoting for me. It's more of, word of mouth. Like, so I feel like I've still got the upper hand here.
Yeah, you do.
Mate, the less you say,
You're the
this
is the most I've ever spoken about it, so I'm actually going to shut up now.
You just let all your mates do all the
so
talking.
now I'm just going to shut up.
You can't walk anywhere
the
with
Stephen Milne story.
You can't walk anywhere.
Yeah. Stephen just sitting there waiting.
Anyway, move on. Let's speak about Brisbane Lions.
Mac, you know what we're talking about?
This is crazy.
Were you here at 8 a.m. again this morning?
He actually was. He's been... Mac's honestly gone from... I don't know how he even started walking in this door or how he got involved in the pod to being probably the most valuable person we have.
Yeah.
He's my favourite person when I come in.
Yeah, it's...
No offence, boys.
Yeah. How good's this next year for the Lions? Now, I've been a big fan of the Lions for a long time, as I mentioned, and I believe in absolutely everything they're doing. And guess what? Hot news here. Back to back.
Yeah.
Dynasty.
We're going back to back.
We are.
And guess what we're doing after that? We'll
back
go
to back.
again.
3 times.
I reckon we have 4 in us.
Yeah.
Because we should have won last year as well, when you think about it, if Ashcroft was there.
If Will played, yeah.
So let's
Now
see
we've got
how
his
we
younger
go.
brother.
Well, his younger brother's won 3 coach leagues.
Well, this is how we go. And I want to hear your stuff on this, Brett, because you're the best when it comes to the young men. Lions add Levi Ashcroft next year.
Yep.
Sam Marshall, who's a listed Queenslander.
NGA, yep.
NGA.
Or Academy.
Explain whatever that is when we get to it. Duday missed out last year.
Yep.
Kitty Coleman.
Yep.
Link McCarthy, and then Oscar, who obviously missed on
And
the
Darcy
weekend.
Gardner as well had a knee.
Darcy Gardner.
Yeah.
So what are they? How do they? They're going to have to do what you want the AFL to do.
You know what they're going to
Just
do?
play them all.
They're going to have to call Laura Kane and say, we need to get more spots
People on the bench.
and
28.
maybe a few more positions because we've got too many players to fill.
Too
And
many-
we don't
we've
want to
got
hurt
too many
anyone's
good players.
feelings. Yeah, we don't hurt anyone's feelings.
Because there's going to be some feelings hurt. I'll tell you what, their VFL side will be pretty good. Gee whiz.
Lukey Lloyd, he'll be licking his lips with the midfield.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So for them, not often do you have a premiership side then gain, potentially pick 1 or 2, 3 at worst. His season has been good enough to be pick 1, but I don't think he'll give up pick 1. Richmond would never give that to Brisbane with everything that comes along with having the pick 1, just like West Coast last year. We're talking about trading it to North or whatever, So you're always better off to take that pick 1, back yourself in. You're going to get a great player, but Levi is...
We're not getting him anyway, so...
Yeah, exactly. Levi's, he'll come in, he'll do what Will has done in his first bit of his career.
So where will he play? What position?
Wow, he's a natural just ball winner. But I don't know whether...
It's crazy.
Oh, mate, I don't know. Like, is it a half forward who comes up and...
Well, that's what Will's doing.
Yeah, true.
He's saying we drop Will. Are we dropping Will for his brother?
Lockie Neal, Will, Hugh McCluggage, one of them's going to get out.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, he's had some big games this year. He just knows how to find it. He's added kicking goals to his resume as well, which is great. And
how does he compare to Dacos coming through?
I
know Dacos.
Yeah, I didn't see enough of Dacos when he was coming through because it was the COVID affected time. So I've watched Levi for the last 3 years where he's been one of the best young players coming through, and that's why when he's won 3 flags, because he played as a
15.
bottom ager,
that's ridiculous.
a bottom ager, and now as a top ager,
So
but
when
he's
you say
still
that-
yet to turn 18 because he's 27th of December.
So that's
You're
like the
saying-
MVP for the carnival, right? Or is it like
No, you play 3 coach leagues. Like,
what's coach league like?
TAC Cup. That's a TAC Cup.
So he's won the grand finals,
Yeah,
or he's,
the grand
right.
final
And
3
what's he
times.
done? He's won best on in the grand
no,
finals.
he's
or
played in 3 grand
He's just
finals.
played in 3.
That's pretty hard to
He's
do.
never been.
It's called clarity.
Yeah.
If I'm running that grand final day, I want clarification. I'll tell you what, because a few fucking Swans didn't have clarification on the weekend, and this is what happened. So I just want to get clarity on
that
that.
stat and I thought it was unbelievable. And then I thought, hey, he must be a superstar junior.
Yeah, and then the other one, Sammy Marshall, who's Max Sportsport, coming through. He runs like a 552k, runs all day. A bit like the build of Huey McCluggage, like that, powerfully built.
Big.
Has added some real speed and power to his game.
So he'll go what pick in the draft?
In the 20s.
20s.
But he
10
probably
to
should
20.
be higher.
Maybe teens. It depends on where they see him.
Yeah.
But Braden Campbell, they thought was, Was it Braden?
We're doing
no,
a
Errol.
Sydney one?
No, yeah, but Errol and Braden were obviously
Yeah.
in the same draft.
Braden went before Errol.
Yeah, he did. And then Errol, because they were like, oh, well, you're going to get him anyway, so they just sort of
Let him go
he
a
slid out a little bit, even though he was a bloody good player. So I'm hopeful for Sam's sake that he gets, because he is good enough, I think, to be inside that top 20.
Change your contract too.
Well, it is,
Is that
inside
what?
the
Extra.
the first
Stiff.
20 you get 3 years, and then after that it's just 2 years. But more often than not, those initial boys straight after sign the
What's first round to get? As in,
price.
yeah,
The pick 1 to 11 get 140k.
Do they really?
140. What was your rookie? Mine was 48.
I was going to say, I reckon 58.
48.
I got
I
64.
was
After
third
me.
round.
I was top 10.
What? When were you picked up though? What year?
To 8 draft.
I'm gonna have to go back and ask. Well, I think I was getting
Check your
underpaid.
2008.
Must have been 60 then.
tax return.
No, I was 48.
2012.
Oh, yeah, I was 2008.
2011.
48. You got more than me.
Okay.
I got 64 back in 2004 draft.
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy. Oh, good on him.
Jeez,
They
you
deserve
played
it.
above that though, bro.
Oh, did you?
Well, I earned 13 matches. Yeah, because you play.
Moving on.
He's got 3 houses in Malvern.
Two things I need to tell you about. One, I actually sat with the Max Sports boys at the grand final. Did they tell you that?
No, they didn't.
I saw them. They were sitting in the same
Tommy
row.
and Macca.
Yeah, saw
and
the boys.
Biz.
Two, one thing I love about footy, as we know, I'm actually just on the Brisbane Lions list. I'm looking at what numbers will be available next year.
Who are you sacking?
Well, I'm not sacking anyone, but if Joe does retire,
Yeah.
the 3 opens up.
Ooh.
That'd be Levi.
And that's what Levi's been wearing. He wears a 3.
Do you reckon they've
I think he
forced
does,
Joe into
yeah.
retirement to get Levi in the 3?
I think they may have.
Why is Joe retiring? Like, how old is he?
30.
He's
Because he watches movies on his iPad.
He's
and-
done. He's had
and they're going
enough.
to try and have a third kid and get rid of the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. It's amazing.
That's basic.
And
I'm
Fa-
also
Fag
trying to get
said-
Jasper Fletcher out of the 28. I know you like the 28, but not a good number.
Fags
Why
needs
was
him
I
at training
28?
more.
I was 26 and 28.
20. You were better in 26.
No, wait, I was
Yeah.
28.
28.
So Jared Lyons retired. That's about all you're getting rid of in that
17.
in that squad at
But
the
they've
moment.
got to get rid of more than that, don't they?
You
They
get
only
rid of
have
3, don't you?
3 minimum.
Yeah.
So you reckon
Well,
they're
they're
delisting
bringing in
Joe?
some, yeah.
They're delisting Joe basically because they need 3
Yeah,
changes.
And he hasn't been able to training.
Oh, it's true.
And they're sick of listening to Let It Go every time he kicks a goal.
They got some big problems. That's good.
Good problems. There.
Very, very
Sack
good
some
problems.
people. Who are they?
What, mate? There's a few blokes I've never seen before, but I don't really want to just sack them on the spot.
Go
But
on,
fuck
sack
it,
one.
I will. Will McLaughlin, never seen you. You're
Oh, he's a
sacked.
mid-season
Dara
draft pick. I
Joyce,
reckon he's
you're
okay.
sacked. And who else we got here?
Sorry, Lester, we just signed you for 3 years. You've got your
Luke
premiership.
Beacon, you're sacked too. So just
He's
pick-
another mid-season.
Okay, and Darcy Craven, then fuck yeah, you're sacked.
I'd nearly be certain it's Craven.
Yeah, me too.
No, I don't know those blokes. I hope they're well. Good stuff. You know what? With my fucking luck, he'll win the norm next year. That bloke. You want to sack Luke Lloyd?
Nah, couldn't do it to Brett.
Lloydie's just signed the contract extension. He's up.
He's a good player.
Good.
He'll be up there for 3.
Any rumours, boys? Before we finish up, anything to?
Any whispers? Are
Any
you hearing
whispers?
anything? Got your ear to the ground?
Nah, besides Parker to North, but we don't have anyone to confirm that. They could be here.
Oh,
Funny one I do. One more little one I'll bring up this week. Daniel Lloyd, our former teammate. So throughout the week, I was trying to get a player on Brisbane's from the podcast. I was chatting to Nick Brown, the media manager there,
Yeah.
who didn't get me anyone on the pod because he was still upset at me for writing him off at the start of the year.
That's
Fair
fair.
enough, sort of payback. Anyway, Lloydie was there because he's working up at the club.
yeah.
And I was actually chatting to Nick Brown after it for a while. Do you know how hard they were trying to get him to play middle of the year? But he couldn't play because this is Daniel Lloyd from the Giants. He hadn't played enough VFL games prior to the mid-season pick to be picked up by the Lions.
We spoke about that at the time.
Why do you have to play a certain amount of games?
Well, unless you nominated for the... Because
It's
he
more important
retired,
talking about it now.
you have to... What?
I think it's more relevant now at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Thinking,
Because
he
we were
could
talking
have
about
won a
it. We
flag.
actually spoke about it mid-season because he was going to be picked up, and we're like, he can't because he hasn't played enough games. And we explained then at the time that when you are retired,
I'm not
you have to
liking
nominate
it.
for
I
the
don't
draft.
really like how these
He's-
two
He's
team up against you.
fucking-
No, but they
No,
do.
He's sadistic, this
You know
bloke.
what I do?
He's
He jumps on with
conniving
him,
and
though.
he's sadistic
No.
and he's a fucking...
He just
No,
jumps on with
he's
him.
a
He enjoy-
gaslighter.
Yeah, he enjoy.
I've gaslit today.
He loves it. He
It's
just.
because I spit
No,
facts and you just come up with bullshit.
Nah, I'm on your side, Dyl.
He scares me sometimes, this guy. He fucking scares me, honestly. I'm so happy to play with him. Actually, I did scare him. We played one game together. Moving on.
We rehab together.
I think that's it.
What else you got?
No, I
What
got
about
nothing
Sydney's
else.
list management?
Oh, God. Where do you start?
Sack them all.
Yeah, go. Run the red texter through a few, can you?
Yeah.
I'm not a heavy hitter, but I will say this: that there's something needs to happen with the three bigs.
Yep. They need a key forward, you reckon?
Well, they can keep two. Like one of them, something needs to happen.
Who's the last team that won a flag with 3 keys?
Don't know. I think history will tell you that the ball spends more time on the ground due to pressure and whatever else. So
Richmond fell into Richmond loved 3 keys under Dimmo early.
Yep.
And they fell into, through injury, in 17, I reckon. Since then, no team plays with
Lynch
that.
and Jack, and then the rest were smalls. Hey,
Lynch and Jack.
Yep.
Collingwood won it with nothing.
They won that first
the
one
thing
just
that-
with Jack, wasn't it?
the thing
Geelong played 2.
the thing with these three that no, I'm not saying I was a
They
tough
don't
player.
move
But
up.
you just
Town-
need
Towner was there.
you need someone to just like crash a pack.
You reckon they're pretty forwards.
I'm not saying they're very handsome, but I
No.
want someone to hurt someone.
Yeah, that's what I
You,
mean.
you
They
want someone
play
to hurt
pretty,
someone.
they're not
Yeah.
physically.
Like I don't think Harris Andrews or Starcevich or Leicester were worried that someone was going to come and hurt him on the weekend.
Even
that's
though
a good call.
when Geelong won their flag, like Jezza was well held, and Tomahawk didn't really get off the chain, did he? Well,
No.
So all the goals came from smaller players and mids.
What's
So you're
this
saying the
space?
games should just be smalls? Oh, no, get rid of that.
Sorry,
Is
you know what?
You might come back,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the last team to win a premiership with 3 talls, Brisbane this year. Logan, Joe, and Eric.
Logan Morris is kind of in between.
He's 193, 194. Yeah,
That's not.
And he's
no,
a
I'm not-
great
No, I
overhead
know what you
catch.
mean, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Pick 30? He's about pick 30. That's a shrewd pick.
watch this space. If I'm very wary of saying anything about Brisbane anymore, but if Joe does retire, Eric will kick 50 goals next year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't see it. Sydney, who are you sacking?
Sorry.
Parker. Parker's going.
Parker's
to
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Warner? You reckon he's going for 15 mil? You have to.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
have to
I
leave.
can't not
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
15.
there anyone
I
else?
don't think they're going, but I'm saying this is what I would do. I wouldn't get rid of him if I was Swans,
Yeah.
but if that did happen, who else would you get rid of?
I'll tell you someone you should get on your pod if you can to ask him about his stories. Taylor Adams. Find out how he feels about it all. That'd be heavy.
Yeah, that is heavy, but they lost. It makes it a bit easier.
But does this not prove my point in what I say in that you have to be very lucky to win your flags? Darcy Fort, look at him. Look at how well
that
he has landed
He's
on
a fucking
his.
gun.
Oh, on that,
I'm not saying he's not a gun.
He's one of the. He'll go down as one of the greats
on that,
because he won that flag.
we haven't. Big O, the way
He's technically better than you because
Yeah, because he won a flag. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
fair. Yeah.
yeah.
That's how we judge everyone.
But on Ford, like Big O, like I didn't know
Oh.
much about him, but now I love that guy. Like his interviews are that good after the game.
Do you think he's going to crash at some stage?
Yes, you got to feel it.
Oh, I totally agree.
I know you're happy for everyone that wins a flag, but there's some guys that you watch win it, and they go up there and get a medal, and you're just like, that's
Brett's
bullshit.
got a list.
Where do we start?
Yeah,
Or maybe next year, brought to you by Amy. Brett's list.
Brett's got a series on that. He's got a series.
Billy Madison guy, you know, he's
I brought up Mitch Morton at the grand
yeah, I
final
did.
breakfast, and Brett
Mitch
nearly blew his
But was,
hat off.
No, I didn't. I love Mitch.
Mitch is
But
great.
if
From
you
the Swans.
But
if
shouldn't
you
have
I
ask,
would play with Mitch.
if you ask Newey, because he went up to him in Eve at the after he had just won one, he goes, "You'll get there one day, mate." I rubbed him on the head.
Oh, dude, we would have
And
loved
Newey's
it.
never forgiven him. He's just like, no, I can't have that.
So Brett has a list. Is that where we're at?
He's got a
Mort's
list.
is not on that list.
He's got a list.
Who did you have that you were about to spit out?
No one for me. Well,
There wasn't
I
many
was
from
never
the
good enough
weekend.
to get anywhere near
Yeah,
a
before-
grand final.
Every year, if Brisbane, everyone
not many
everyone
from
was
Brisbane.
deserving of one. The ones are like he's going to be very good. Like Logan Morris, he's come into AFL,
Yeah.
picked up his spot in the back half of the year. He would just not know nothing but no, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
You wouldn't fully. I don't think
Yeah.
you'd fully appreciate the gravity of what
Conor
he's been able to achieve
McKenna, didn't
today.
He won a
Conor
Gaelic.
McKenna.
He won a Gaelic. Didn't he go play
Mate,
Mate, he's
Gaelic?
at Essendon, goes home for 2 years,
Plays
wins it there, and then he comes back to Brisbane. There's a
Bob's your uncle. How easy he is. Not
Should.
for everyone.
yeah.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? My point's pretty valid.
Yeah.
It's all timing, Brett. It's not your fault, mate. It's
No.
okay.
Brett, maybe you should go and play Gaelic for a little bit. Come back. Oh, goodness
very good.
gracious. Hey, boys, it's been a ripping year, but guess what?
We're
That's it,
coming back.
isn't it?
I ain't fucking leaving. We ain't leaving. We ain't leaving, are we, Darce? No. We are continuing. Is that all right with you?
Well, it's going to have to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to have to be. We'll
It's the end of the month as well. Keep your emails on.
It's a big month. We'll have
Ooh,
to
yeah,
for
tell you
continue.
what, there's a little brekkie
We'll be
involved.
continuing our festivities. We've got a little live event coming up.
A
I'll
live
tell you,
one.
I haven't told you two about it yet, but it's
No, a live
coming
one.
up. I'll definitely get Robbie there as well. This next one, he'll be there.
All good.
And we'll be continuing, guys. So we'll be going till... When are we going to? About the end of draft and trade period and all that
That
sort of
far.
stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
this is breaking news.
Yeah. I'll confirm that.
And you're,
I'll confirm
you're
those
just telling
dates.
Brett that we're still going, but you're looking at him for clarity about when we're going till.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to knock it off with Katy just to make sure that that's all good. Katy Perry, that is. And make sure that
My
Katy
other wife.
Perry's not
Yeah.
touring or something like that. But it's been a ripper. Robbie, lovely to see you again, mate.
Appreciate it.
Hey, are you on the open market at the moment?
No. Very loved up, mate.
Oh, no, I'm talking footy, sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
Football.
I am on the market. Oh, yes. So, yes, I am.
What's
yes.
the starting price?
What sort of role are we looking
Just
for?
playing. I only
No,
wanna play.
but you're a leader.
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
some assistant coach?
No,
in as
he
well?
just wants to play.
I was play coach for 5 years. It's the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
And now I just want to play
So
for the
just
next 2
play
years.
train? Will you train?
Preferably no. No, I put in a bit of... I actually was training today. I've done leg weights in about 9 years. And last year, I reckon I lost about half a yard. So I'm back in the gym. I did leg weights. You'd be so proud of me.
This
Squatting's
bloke.
really good. I was doing it for a while
Yeah.
too.
So
If
yes.
you want a gym partner
So if anyone is interested,
for once a month,
Fair.
give me start
Are you thinking local? You want to travel? Do you want to go
just whatever.
VAFA?
VAFA.
Yeah.
Who do you know on the VAFA? Just throw it out
I
here. I know,
forget.
yeah.
I got two close to my heart. Old
I've
Ivano.
spoken. I haven't spoken to them.
Yeah, and the collegians.
I've spoken to them.
The collegians. Not close to my heart, but my mates.
Yeah.
They do
No,
some stuff
I'm
there.
willing to hear any offers really.
I've never seen it. He's pretty laid back on the podcast usually, but he's... As
Oh,
soon as you
he's
asked
just
about-
tightened up.
He's on the free market to play next year. He's...
Yeah, well,
keen, eh?
this is it. This is my payday.
that.
Brett, you on the
Brett?
market? Have you got a clearance back from
she's
John
done
Garland?
well.
Nah,
truly.
And
Nah.
so am I. It's just before you ask. I'm done. I'm not interested either. Just before you
Oh,
ask.
we're going back
What
to what's that place that
Tura.
where you play
Yeah,
Tura?
we will not be going back there. Maybe Mac deal
Oh,
with
yeah.
Nahas.
That's what I reckon. Hey, get him down to the academy.
I saw his kicking.
yeah, it's
I saw
vomit,
his
isn't it?
kicking. No, we can work on that, mate.
Darth, do we have a mic just for Mac to finish up? No, we don't have a mic. No mic. We'll get Mac next week. He's been a bit hungover from the weekend anyway. But guys and girls, thank you very much. Hope you had a good grand final week. And remember to get your drinks for game day sorted and enjoy the footy with BWS.